Well, welcome to Tuesday, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. We're going to talk about some rain coming through tonight and tomorrow morning. Actually, some thunderstorms are possible across southern half of lower Michigan. And then we're going to talk about numerous storm systems heading this way, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Next week, you know, when a meteorologist uses the word interesting, sometimes it's not so good for the average person. So we have a storm system forming next week. It looks like both the models that I look at that I would believe somewhat, the European and the US model called the GFS, both show it similar fashion. And when that happens 7 or 8 days out, you kind of tend to believe it to some extent. I'm not saying it'll exactly work out exactly the way it shows right now. So let's get to it, and if you have any questions, just let me know. So here's the radar right now, and dry, lower Michigan, most of the UP. Here are the showers that will be moving southeast across the state. Not until tonight for most areas. Lower Peninsula, you got a great day on the way today. Good morning, Steve Jakubiak. And good morning, Wayne Lynch. Wayne Lynch wants to bring on the snow. Hey, thanks, Eric Biggs. Okay, so here is the radar forecast. Now remember, this is the heart of computer modeling. You know, 10 years ago, we couldn't have dreamed of having a radar forecast. Okay, so this is what it is what the radar should look like in the future. And here we go. We're at noon. So again, I want to emphasize, lower Michigan should be dry most of the day. There's some indication that maybe a little bit of shower activity could pop up in the late afternoon. We are at 4 o'clock. Now, 5 o'clock, 6 tonight. Hey, good morning, fellow MLiver Jessica Shepard. And good morning, Wixom and Don Tilley. Okay, so we are at 9 o'clock tonight, and here's the line of showers and possible thunderstorms developing. And actually, everything's been showing me that as we go through the night tonight, the rain kind of increases and could perhaps become thundery. This is midnight tonight. A line of showers and thunderstorms moving through the Tri-Cities. For those of you not from the Tri-Cities, that's Saginaw Bay City and Midland. Okay? I know, Kenny Hatch, NOAA shows warmer than normal for the 8 to 14. I don't know why, because the 8, 9, and 10 look quite a bit colder than normal on both models. So we'll have to see if that changes today. Now we're going through the night tonight, and here's the showers. And so southern lower, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Jackson, you get them way after midnight. So you've got a good day today. Go play a round of golf. Eric Buckholz, rain in Detroit overnight. Yes, this is 6 o'clock in the morning, so the showers are still there. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, the showers are still there. And then we're at 1 o'clock. So southeast, you don't get it today. You get it late tonight, and it hangs on tomorrow morning. Good morning, Beaverton, Sharon Myers. And then moves off, and the rest of Wednesday and Thursday are dry. Now, this is the next thing we have to deal with, okay? So these are the rainfall totals off of that same model. And where you see the yellowish, that could be an inch of rain or so if the thunderstorms get going. But I would generally call it a half-inch rain, and surrounding it, quarter-inch rains, lesser amounts to the north. Someone wanted to know something about the UP here. Let me scroll back. Let's see. Colleen says, going to the UP on Friday for Michigan hockey. Any rain for the weekend in the UP? We're going to look at that in just a moment. I would say yes, some. Brighton will have the rain too. It looks like overnight tonight. So there you see your rainfall totals. Heaviest through central to southwest, lower overnight tonight. Hey, good morning, Traverse City. High temperatures today, really pretty nice. Almost 60 to low 60s in the southwest corner. Okay. 50s in Detroit, Ann Arbor, Jackson, Saginaw Bay City, Midland, the Thumb. 53 up to Traverse City. 40s across the UP. Halloween weather looks dry everywhere. The storm system will be out of the area. And here we go into the weekend, okay? This is the American model. Here's our storm system moving through tomorrow. This is tomorrow evening, trick-or-treat time. So it's gone. It's out of the area. So dry conditions across Michigan for Halloween. Then what we watch is a wave develop along this frontal system and move northeast. And it's going to start to get interesting. So I promised you the quote-unquote interesting weather. Now, first off, people are asking about the weekend. This system, the European model, which is generally better, we'll have to see if it's still running better, brings that rain into the southeast half of lower Michigan on Friday. So we got two different scenarios here. We'll have to watch that. Now, we go into the weekend. This is late Friday. We go into Saturday, and the European brings this thing. This is Sunday now. Brings this storm right across us on Sunday. The American model kind of hangs it off till Sunday night. And remember, these are cold pockets of air behind here. Hey, good morning, Kingston and Luann Dorman. Okay, and then both models. Now, this is pretty far out. Okay, so what I'm showing you here is pretty far out, coming up next week. But remember, both the American model, GFS, and the European model are both showing about the same kind of thing. So we start to believe it, okay? But we don't really believe it until it's about 5 days away and both models are showing it. So we are at early Tuesday morning, okay? And then we're in the smack dab in the middle of Tuesday. And this is a big old rain system. And the European looks about the same. And it's wind. And there's cold on the backside. And sorry, Ashley Marr, as the storm would pull up to the north, it would pull cold air in. And yes, we would have to use the S word. The full-blown S word, not heavy on the east side of the state, but for this time of the year, an accumulating snow. And again, we are at, notice, we are at 8 days out, okay? And one thing we can do to see if consistency is developing, we can go from one model 6 hours ago to now, 6 hours ago to now. And it's the same kind of scenario. It's a little different, and that means a lot of different results. But you see, the idea is there that there is some sort of significant storm next week, and behind it, there is significant cold that gets pulled down. I talked to you yesterday about how this zero line here would be what we'd use as a rain-snow line in the middle of winter. Certainly the -3 would be leaning toward all snow. -6, -9 at 5,000 feet, that would be what it's showing. Lake effect snow. There's a -9 also. That would make temperatures in the mid-30s at this time of the year. Okay, so there it is. Great day today. Rain, thunderstorms tonight, tomorrow morning. Dry for trick-or-treating. Really pretty nice. Not too cold. Probably temperatures in the 40s or so, and not a whole lot of wind. Then we watch for a Friday rain that is happening on the European, isn't happening on the U.S. Unfortunately, I buy the European more. We'll see. And then we watch for an interesting weather system next week, which, you think about it, is right on schedule, kind of, with the weather that we have. Remember the old saying about the November gales? That's the big wound-up storm systems over the Great Lakes in November. Why does that happen? Because the cold air hits the Great Lakes and helps intensify the storm. Well, our cold is running a couple of weeks ahead of schedule, so that means that the gales of November that normally come, November 15th, November 20th, 25th, Okay, they'll be ahead of schedule. Okay, Liga Hudak. Now this is what I didn't want, okay? I don't want you to take the exacts. This person says, so Southeast Michigan is falling into the dry slot for the snow. First off, yes, congratulations. You got dry slot and you got it on right. But it's 8 days out. We're not looking at the exact situation. We're looking at the overall situation of a storm system forming in the Great Lakes. We're not looking at the exact details of where everything's falling yet. Well, someone asks, why do I like the European better? Let's see, Dawn Brinkle, why do you like the European instead of ours? It's more accurate 3, 4, 5 days out. Now, America is great at a lot of things in weather forecasting. We have models that the Europeans don't even have. We have that short-term, high-resolution, rapid refresh, updates every hour, forecasts severe weather for today, pinpoints it down to a couple of kilometers. We have that. We have some great models. But we put our long-range model, GFS, we make it do a lot of things. They do one model, the European, and they put a lot of inputs into it. In other words, when you start a model, they put a lot of initializations that help the model know exactly what's going on now and what has been going on, and that's why it forecasts into the future better. And it's all a resource thing. Do we want the short-term forecast for severe weather to save lives in tornadoes, or do we want to know about the snowstorm 4 or 5 days out? It's all a money type thing because it's computing power, resources, and all that stuff. And everything is always getting better as far as modeling goes. So both models will continue to get better. And, so it's nice that we have both of them. We have things to compare it to. So there you go. That's what we have in weather. It's going to be interesting. Judy Thornton Thurston wants to know, so will Midland get some snow? If this thing pans out second half of next week, you will see some flakes flying. I wouldn't say it'll probably be accumulating snow in Midland, but it will be something to look out the window and say yes or no. All right, there you go. You're welcome, Dawn. And thanks for asking. I think that's a good, valid post because that's a question we've had for years. Why is the European so much better? It's better at some things. Knowing a snowstorm 3, 4, 5 days out, which is important to us, but it's not as good as the U.S. models at other things, okay? Karen Grigsby, you have a great day also. I'm going to sign off now. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the morning weather update on MLive. You can mention this to your friends. Hey, mention it to 2 friends today, okay? And get them to follow MLive. Remember that old commercial? You tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. They didn't know about going viral back then, but they kind of predicted it in that commercial. Have a great day. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.